Hey guys, Alexis Carrillo here, right here back on the AlexisCarrilloBrand YouTube channel, and as you may see, because of the photo that I have selected for this particular video, there are going to be some updates and some modifications to this channel, to the AlexisCarrilloBrand YouTube channel. But first, I want to apologize to you for not being as, productive as I had been at the start of this channel, not posting videos over the past few days. I want to apologize for not doing that, but I'm also going to explain myself on that situation. And the thing is, as you can see, the numbers are right there on the channel. Some videos don't get views, some videos don't get the traction that I would love for them to get. That's on me, that's my fault. I haven't been as consistent with my opinion, I haven't been as consistent with my topics. I know I've been very behind on what's going on in the wrestling world, and believe me when I tell you this, I am trying to change that. I'm trying to get there, and I slowly will get there. But I wanted to take a step back, which is why I didn't post videos on Monday, because I've posted videos and some of them haven't been coming out the way I've been wanting to, and I still post them regardless of how they come out, which I gotta say is not fair to you, the listener, the viewer. It's not fair to you that I'm not on my A game every single time, so that's going to change in the coming days, okay? And first announcement that I wanted to make is that on March 8th of this year, the 2-month anniversary, 2-month launch of this channel, I am planning on beginning to transition the current Wrestling Talk clips that I do into the Wrestling Talk podcast of sorts. A Wrestling Talk podcast or Wrestling Talk show on YouTube where, get this, I'm going to talk wrestling. I'm going to talk about the wrestling that happened that week. Okay? Now, what do you mean by talking about wrestling? Well, most of the videos that I've uploaded over the past month, over the past 2 months, are based on news, are based on some news that have come out on dirt sheets, on some rumors, obviously. And now I want to take this podcast, this show, and really turn it into its base, go simple, and talk about the wrestling shows. Now, what I will do is, on Thursdays, starting March 8th, I will review everything that happened on WWE TV in that week. Now it's a Thursday show, so that means I will review Monday night's Raw. I will review Tuesday night's SmackDown Live and 205 Live, and I will review Wednesday night's NXT. I will give my thoughts on what happened on the show. I will give my thoughts on certain matches, on certain wrestlers on those shows. And on Monday, starting what's it gonna be, March 12th, I think, I'm gonna review Impact Wrestling. Thursday's Impact Wrestling, Sunday's Ring of Honor Wrestling. Talk about news from NWA, talk about news from New Japan, talk about news from almost all the other companies. Now, why am I dividing the Wrestling Talk podcast into 2 shows? Why am I dividing the audience, if you could say that, if you could assume that? Well, the fact is, there's just so much content to watch, there's so much news to cover, that really you need 2-3 hours to cover it, to cover the extent of it on a certain show, on a certain podcast. I'm currently not available to do that. Like I said, this is a side gig. I'm trying to transition this into a full-time gig, but that's how I'm planning on doing these videos, these shows, these podcasts in the future. Obviously, if you have another opinion, if you have suggestions, if you have ideas, if you watch or listen to the podcast coming up in the future and you don't quite like it, you can hit me up with a comment on this video, on any video really. Hit me up with ideas on what you would like for these shows, because obviously these shows, these podcasts, these clips are for you, the viewers, and I would love for you to appreciate them the way I want, the way I do. Okay, so that's what I wanted to announce. Now, don't worry. Sometimes I will have a few smaller, shorter videos right here on the channel, mainly covering news. But I also want to get into talking about wrestling and talking about wrestling storylines and predictions and reviews and all that kind of good stuff. So leave me a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you next time.